And so the truth is at long last revealed with enormous amount of confusing and I do not understand a single bit what has happened moments. But it's the fairy tale chapter 465 where Zeref has survived Natsu's attack. However, one attack more by Natsu with Ignil's strength may very well wound Zeref. However, before doing that, he decides to reveal the truth to Natsu. That Natsu really is END. He also reveals that he is his younger brother. Of course, Natsu being Natsu and being anyone else, he doesn't believe this, seeing that for many reasons. First of all, END formed Tartarus, and here it's revealed that Mardigre lied. END did not form Tartarus. There was actually one single foreshadowing hint for that, and that reason was Mardegre's full name was Mardegre Tartarus, and he was extremely vain, meaning that very well he named the guild after himself. I mean, I would have thought it was difficult if END did that. There isn't really any other clues. I once had a wondering, did Mardegre know that END really were human, or half human, and wanted to resurrect their only demon? What Zeref says here is that he found the book by coincidence and decided to use that as END's will. That's how he controlled the other books of Tartarus. Of course, Natsu also says, why didn't Ignil kill me then? I know he failed to do that, but the reason was simply because Ignil loved Natsu. Yeah, even then. Natsu wasn't just END back then, he was Natsu. He was a little child. Okay, I'm a bit confusing. How's that even possible? Does that mean that END was not a masterpiece after all? It was merely a resurrected Natsu? Or is the fact that Natsu has become what is now is their true end? What is that book then? Because in order to make Natsu realize what it is, Zeref mildly stabs the book and Natsu gets hurt. Yeah, no kidding. They are organic magically linked, meaning that book really is Natsu. But how does that make sense? I mean, I can't understand a single thing. If that is Natsu, if END, and if that is also END, how are they separate and what's the difference? No idea. And the fact is, does that mean that... that means that... If Grey destroyed that book, he would have destroyed Natsu too. And then it's revealed that the fact that all the Dragon Slayers, at least those of the real ones, have actually been from the same era as Natsu. Ignil was a friend of Zeref because he was a pacifistic dragon. The reason was, and Zeref himself lost his parents and his little brother Natsu to dragon flames. Maybe one reason why he dislikes Acnologia. And the dragons who were weakening in that era wanted to enter the bodies of the other dragons in order to, he wanted to teach them Dragon Slayer magic and kill Acnologia in the future timeline. But I guess plans changed. This also reveals that all those memories Natsu had with the Ignil, those were 400 years ago. Because the reason why Natsu is where he is now is not because he is 400 years old and has aged slowly. No, it's because somehow a celestial spirit named Anna and the celestial spirit Layla, that was Lucy's mother, opened the gate from the past and the future, where the dragons with the Dragon Slayer kids entered, and where they also entered their bodies. So when Natsu, Wendy and stuff, Wendy, Gajeel, Rouge and Sting arrived in that era, well, they had been teleported that. That's the last memory they had. So weird, really. And how could Layla open the gate while everything... well, and who was this Anna? Either way, this is too much nuts to bear, so he decides to attack Zeref after all. But Zeref reveals apparently if a demon of Zeref kills him, he dies too. Happy having heard all of this and actually being a little bit more intelligent than Natsu, because you can see the shock, this breaking eyes when he sees that Natsu gets stabbed when Zeref stabs the book. That is, unlike Natsu, Happy actually realizes that all of this makes sense. That breaks his spirit, really. So he stops Natsu from doing that same and takes him away from the guild, even when the power is fading. This was their one chance to defeat Zeref, but Happy couldn't bear to lose his best friend. In a way, was that selfish? In a way, that was selfish. But at the same time, this is fairy tale. We need to find another way to defeat Zeref, because now END Natsu will no longer be able to do that. And so the chapter ends. Whew. So much information, really. So much information, really. But, well, what's gonna happen? The truth is finally revealed on how everything was connected. This also shows some hints of the fact that how Natsu knew Wendy. He knew Wendy because she was one of the orphans selected by the project in order to do this. Now I wonder though, is Natsu gonna reveal everybody what he has heard? Being Natsu, I think he won't. I think he even would demand Happy not revealing. But we are sensing enormous amount of darkness now. An awesome chapter, although confusing. But next week says, or wait, are we gonna get a chapter next week? There were some hints of double issues, or there are others. Either way, next chapter is at least called Assassin. I have a feeling it's gonna hint despair. Give me your thoughts if you have any.